What the hell is going on in Syria? So just in case you've been on Iraq, let me feel you what's going on. Due to this thing called the Arab Spring, a lot of countries in the Middle East have decided to overthrow their government and remove people who've been in power for too long. So, you see countries like Egypt, Libya, and more recently, Syria, trying to overthrow their dictatorous presidents. So, the guy we're talking about right now recently, in most recent times, is Assad in Syria. Pretty much Assad is now going, man. By any means necessary, he's staying in control, and he's pretty much killing his people. It's a civil war. You got rebel groups everywhere, like over 13 factions of rebel groups, trying to overthrow the government and take Assad out of there. Now, a lot of Western interests have said, man, we should intervene in this war and help out the rebels to remove Assad because he's been a thorn in our side for many years. Obama being reluctant because we just got our war in Iraq and we still have an ongoing war in Afghanistan, said pretty much, nah, we're not going to do that. But because we know Syria has a stockpile of weapons and chemical weapons, what we're going to do is I'm going to set a red line. And pretty much, as long as you don't use those chemical weapons, we're not going to jump in. So, fast forward to like 2 weeks ago, Assad pretty much said, Obama, and use a chemical weapon. So now Obama's put in a position like, look, man, we told you not to use it, so now we got to make an example out of you. Which leads me to my point. Should we go to war with Syria? Now, they're saying it's going to be a limited strike, but that's pretty much a active war. You know, I heard limited strike when that last guy was in office. Yeah, how did that go? But anyway, so, hell no! We shouldn't go to really? Alright, my first point. First, you had a budget sequester. You cut billions of dollars from the government. You got rid of air traffic controllers. You cut Meals on Wheels. You cut food stamps from the farming bill. You kick kids out of Head Start. But now all of a sudden you got money to go to war? That's some bull. Second of all, what's the end game? You got all these factions of rebels, half of them Al-Qaeda. So, when you overthrow the government, who the hell gonna take over? People who don't like you? And plus it's a civil war. Just because they're fighting their government doesn't mean they like you. Once they overthrow Assad, them same people might be like, man, the hell, why did they come in there? It's a civil war, stay out of it. The third point is, and maybe it's just me, but every life is precious. Let me say that first. But you had over 100,000 people have died in Syria already. Only 1,000 people have died from chemical weapons. So the message you're sending is, it's okay to kill 100,000 people with guns and bombs, but once you use chemical weapons, that's when we jumping in. That's some garbage, man. It doesn't hold water, and we shouldn't do it.